My name is Arin Lindauer, and you're listening to A Life Without Struggle. I'm a wife, a mother of 2 wonderful children, a 2-time best-selling author, and a highly driven and successful entrepreneur. In my 17-plus year career as a mindset and health expert, I know what holds women back from a life you only dream about. Whether you're a CEO, a businesswoman, or executive, I started this podcast because I have been where you are, and I know you want and deserve more out of your life. I believe women are limitless. We just get lost along the way. The process to get you there is the topic and purpose of this podcast. When you understand what you want, you can truly step into a life without struggle. Welcome, and I'm so thankful you're here. Welcome back to another episode of Life Without Struggle. My name is Arin Lindauer, and today we're going to dig into a topic around don't fall into any of this nonsense. Okay, so Arin's a little fired up this morning. I may have already gotten a run in. I may have already gotten in the sauna. I may have already cold plunged, and I'm fired up. I'm pretty fired up for this message, and I pretty much am fired up all day, every day, as most of you guys know me, but I want to just come today with just a message that you're going to need to listen to multiple times. So here goes. I titled this, Don't Fall Into Any of This Nonsense. And now listen, I could go on a rant for days about all the nonsense that is going on in our world, all the excuses that we make, all of the things that we believe to be true, all these little things that we tell ourselves, especially when it comes towards weight loss. Now, here's the thing. I always come with love, with empathy, but I'm also going to put the mean pants on, okay? I saddled them up today, and I'm fired up because I genuinely want to see women win. I genuinely want to see people win. I nothing against the men. I just want to see women win. And I know when we win, our spouses win, or the men around us will win. Women are strong forces. We push and move mountains. We inspire and motivate others. And it starts with us. We're very mothering in nature, whether you have had children or not. There is a piece to you that wants to nurture and grow and help others around you at your detriment to your own self. So today, what we're going to dig into is some of the nonsense that I see happen when it comes to a woman and her weight loss goals. See, so many times we just don't ever get started. We talk about it and we talk about it and we talk about it. Oh yeah, I keep trying to lose this weight. Well, it starts at 5 pounds, then it's 10 pounds, and then it's 30 pounds, and it's 40 pounds. And listen, it just continues to go. The problem is societally, we have accepted this. We have made larger seats to accommodate. We have created weight loss drugs. We have made food so terrible that some countries won't even offer the foods that are readily available in America. That should wake you up beyond. But listen, it doesn't. And that's what's so crazy to me. I was going to say a few other words there, but it's so mind-blowing to me that we do not fully understand and embrace how terrible the food and all of this stuff sitting on the shelves can be for us. Yet we'll chalk it up saying it's okay. And listen, I'm sharing this with you because I have been in that camp too, where yes, maybe I don't always loathe over junk food or, chips or salty, sweet, that kind of stuff. There was a time and space in my life where I abused other things such as alcohol and drank it in excess. And I can tell you from not having alcohol in my body, and I really didn't believe this until I did remove it. Honestly, once removing it, it's like, holy crap, I do feel amazing. Now, I'm not going to say I'm never going to partake in a really good glass of wine, or, when we move some of these goals forward that we have put out there, I'm definitely going to pop some champagne. That is all good. And I think within moderation, it is okay to do these things, just like having a Reese cup is okay at Halloween. Okay. But here's the nonsense that I see happen is we will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk about losing weight, yet we never actually do anything. Or we kind of sort of buy something, think that, oh, I bought it, now this is going to just do it for me. And we just continue this vicious cycle. And we don't ever get started. I will tell you 70% of people never get started. And this is a huge fail. It's a huge fail as a society. We need to talk to more women, woman to woman, and say, hey girl, get your shit together. Let's go. Like, it's all good. You can love who you see in the mirror. You can feel good in your own skin, but you gotta stop doing some of these things that you're telling yourself it's okay. I remember like when you would go over for the mommy play dates, and it was just cracking open a bottle of wine, and it was just kind of normal that mommies did these things. And I was like, what are we doing? I still got to drive my kids home. And it was just like one of the most awkward things, I think, early on as a mom. I was like, oh, this is a thing. And I was like, wow, I at least wait for like 5 o'clock, right? Jimmy Buffett. But, it was just one of these things where I just couldn't believe the culture that we created, or like just eating our feelings. This is something that honestly, I'm thankful I have never, ever experienced, but I've coached a ton of women through. Okay, so where maybe I didn't turn to food, I turned to alcohol. It's still a coping mechanism. But here's what I want you to do is you're better than any excuse you're giving yourself. Stop with the excuses. Stop telling me why the scale isn't moving because of hormones or this or that. Like, I am so sick of that excuse. It is not the hormones, okay? Now, do they play a part? Let me just put a little asterisk. Yes, they play a part, but let's objectively better understand. If you're coming off of the holidays, if you're coming off of eating differently than what you know you should, own it. It's all good. It's all good to own what's going on. I think one of the most frustrating things as a coach is when someone doesn't just say, hey, I've had probably too many splurges, or hey, it was the holidays and I had probably too many cookies. And you know what? Today's the line. I'm going to move forward. It's all good. Anytime I've always had a business coach. Anytime I'm not producing the results that I desired in my business, it is not the coach's fault. It is not the strategy's fault. It is 100% my responsibility and the execution of the plan. Okay. That is the ownership and the level that we all need to take. We've got to take the ownership of who we are in this life and the results or lack thereof that we get. But here's the biggest caveat is 70% of the people never get started on this journey. Okay. Then here's another percentage that is wild. Most quit after the first hurdle. And I have witnessed this so many times when someone comes into my coaching program, I let them know, hey, you know what? Life is going to hit you. Okay. Something's going to happen. You're going to get sick. You're going to have car problems. You're going to have the refrigerator. You're going to have something. You're going to just have something that presents itself in your life that will be challenging. And I want you to be like, yes, sweet. I get to navigate this, and I get to navigate it really, really well because I'm already on this good groove. I'm taking care of myself, because this expectation that life is just going to miraculously be perfect all day, every day, because I'm getting my you-know-what together, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, this is not, again, everybody is safe. Everyone is healthy. Everyone is doing really, really well. But here's the thing I do want to say is like, most things are not as devastating as we create them to be, okay? I have gone through a lot of stuff just myself personally in this particular time and this last month. And it has been extremely challenging to just watch some of the things unfold with family members that I love. And so the important part about it is being there for them in the capacity that I could. And sometimes that meant I had to say, no, I can't be there, or I can't do that in that time and space. That was very challenging. I am always the yes, I will be there. Let me drop everything. And I'm sure a lot of you are the same way. And I had to really protect myself and my boundaries. And it's not that I love anyone any less, but I need them to understand that I just can't drop everything and not take care of my family, not take care of my business and clients, not take care of my personal needs before everyone else. And I know that's going to come across super harsh, super challenging for several listening to this, because listen, I get it. We're women, we love each other, we love people, and to the detriment of our own self. And you can't do that, because I promise you, if I would have shown up on multiple times when I was tugged, one of the in particular days was Christmas Day. And I chose in that time and space that I was going to stay with my family, and that's where I needed to be that day, and also on Christmas Eve. And that was okay. And it was a good thing. And did I feel guilty? Hell yes, I felt guilty. But I worked through that, and I helped myself better understand that where I was where I was supposed to be at every moment in time and space. So the second that first hurdle comes up when you are on any kind of journey, we're speaking particularly on a weight loss journey, I want you to embrace that hurdle. I want you to see how well can I navigate this hurdle? How well can I endure the pain that I'm going through? See, a lot of times when someone gets into my coaching program, especially this time of the year, it tends to be more prevalent, but we get sick, we get a cold, we get something that kind of knocks you down. And especially when you are on a health journey, it's not the first thing you think about when you're sick is eating a chicken breast, or it's probably not appropriate for you to beat the pavement that particular day. And so this is something where I want you to understand that just because you're quote unquote sick doesn't mean you can't take care of yourself. This also goes along with the lines, just because you're stressed doesn't mean you can't still take care of yourself. See, I've been mega stressed this last month. Getting the kids ready for Christmas, making sure you got all the things, doing all the stuff leading up to the end of the year, meeting with our accountant, just all the things in business and life and stuff. And then on top of it, having a very critically, ill family member in the hospital that entire month was very, very challenging. But I had to say to myself over and over and over that just because I'm stressed doesn't mean I can't take care of myself. Just because I'm stressed doesn't mean I need to be short with my kids. Just because I'm stressed doesn't mean I need to take it out on my husband. See, these are the things that we've got to check ourselves, okay? And it doesn't just happen overnight, but I've been intentionally working on this stuff day in and day out. And this isn't to say like, oh, Arin's got it all figured out, but I will tell you, reasonably speaking, I do feel strongly about how I'm navigating life now. And I think it's worthwhile to do the things that I have done to get to this point in my life. So again, it's not to like, oh, Arin's got it all going over here. But I would happen to think that if you're listening to this podcast, you're going, okay, she's got something. I like what she's saying, and I want to mimic a lot, or you're all ready. Okay. So first and foremost, most don't ever get started. Second, most quit after the first hurdle of shit happening in their life. And then here's another one that this one's going to rub people the wrong way, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it, is we lie to ourselves. It's one thing to lie to other people, but we lie to ourselves. We lie to ourselves that we're eating well. We lie to ourselves that we're so busy. We lie to ourselves that we've got so much going on. And I'm just going to be genuine, like, just stop. It really doesn't matter to anyone else but yourself. Like, just be completely honest and transparent with yourself. Man, I didn't win the day. See, I've been using this really cool book where it's called the Power List. And you write down 5 things that you need to do for the day. Now, here's the thing. No one's looking in this book. No one else is going to see this book but myself. But at the end of the day, did you check all your boxes? If you did, cool. You circle a W because you won. If you didn't, you circle the L because you may say you lost. I look at it saying I didn't lose the day. What can I learn from the day, right? But you look at this and you say, did I objectively hit all the things that I meant to do for this day? And here's the thing that most of you probably feel, and myself too, is when I can't circle a W, it sucks. I hate that. It frustrates me to no end. But here's the thing, I could easily circle W. I could easily say, yeah, I thought about marketing when that wasn't what I wrote down. It was simply executing something particular on my marketing calendar, schedule, list, whatever. But you could easily just check the box and say, I won the day. And that's lying to yourself, guys. Did you move the needle forward? Did you get 7,500 to 10,000 steps in? Yes or no? Did you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep in? Yes or no? Did you get 100 plus ounces of water in each day? Yes or no? Like, these are things that you have to be real with yourself. And the second you think any of this doesn't matter, I'm telling you, you're severely missing. You're missing the absolute point. We also lie to ourselves, and this is a big one that I see. Lie to ourselves and saying, I eat well. This one hits home big time because there's so many times when it's like I ask women to give me pictures of the food that they're consuming, and they'll give me the 3 solid meals, right? But they don't give me all the pictures of everything else and the little sneaks here, there, and everywhere that genuinely add up, especially when we're trying to create a caloric deficit. We're not burning 1,000,000 calories, but pretty close. And you have to create the deficit, okay? And I know if the scale is not moving, reasonably speaking, after a certain amount of time, that we are still in calorie excess and not in the deficit. It's point blank. That is what it is when it comes to your initial weight loss journey. Does it get a little more nuanced later on in the journey? Yes. But don't lie to yourself when it comes to how good or not good is your food. Did you do the workout or not do the workout? Did you give it the effort? Did you need to ask questions, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into why do we lie about things. And I don't even know if it's maybe the word lie, but we sit back in our own fear and we paralyze ourselves because we don't want to look stupid. We don't want to ask the question that, oh my gosh, I don't know what she's going to say, or, have to put yourself out there. You have to put yourself out there and ask the questions so that you can win and succeed at life. Because sitting back and saying, oh, I got this all figured out, well, no. And here's the thing, like, especially if you're hiring a coach, it is all good to ask the question. 9 times out of 10, when I ask my coach questions, I already know the answer, but I'm curious to see if they have a different angle, a different perspective. And typically they do. And I'm just like, oh man, I never thought about that. That's cool. Especially after, a couple decades in business, you can think you got it all figured out. And I'm going to tell you, like, that is just wrong. It is wrong on every level. Things change, systems change, and it's a good thing to continue to learn and grow. So it's important for us to take our ego and tuck it, because you're just going to move so much faster. See, I've let my ego get in my way all the time, and it's been something that I've had to really check myself, and I'm thankful to have the coaches around me that have checked me for myself. So that's a good thing. The last thing that I want to dig into around all of this nonsense that I just want to shake the crap out of is being disciplined to the process. So much about weight loss is showing up. You got to show up every single day and do the things you don't want to do. Okay? Listen, There are multiple times that I would rather have this or that, or I would rather not get my steps in, or I would rather, you name it. There's so many times when I even fight my own self, but you have to relentlessly show up every single day, even when you don't want to. So much of this is truly about portion control and creating a deficit that's enough to see results that motivate us to stay the course, to do the things. The things that I'm referring to is, well, in our body in a reasonable fashion. And don't think more is better, okay? When it comes to exercise, less is actually more in the beginning of this journey. So I want you to ask yourself, am I falling into any of this nonsense? Am I just not getting started just because I like talking about my problems? Do I quit when the first hard thing happens in my life? Do I tell myself little lies? Well, I'm eating better. Are you? Are you eating better? Are you drinking your water? And then are you disciplined to doing the things long after the time has passed that you're excited about it? See, I know this happens at like week 3 in my program. Then it happens at like the 3rd month in the program. And this is where you have to stay focused and knowing what you want and being that woman, stepping into that woman every single day. So don't get caught up in any of this nonsense. And listen, if you've been considering hiring a coach and really taking 2024 to the next level, reach out to me. I'm on all socials just simply as Arin Lindauer. Arin is spelled A-R-I-N. Lindauer is L-I-N-D-A-U-E-R. And listen, let's make this the best year yet. Don't fall into the traps. These traps are meant to suck you in and keep you mediocre. Don't be mediocre. Drop the ego and go get what you know, want, and you deserve.